Just thinking after the Manazar first issue, basically, first story. So he gets into the Konian Marauders armor, Konian pirates armor, and then he takes their ship, the Marauder, and he flies away. So I'm thinking for the next story, instead of having like an actual story, I could experiment with just like space battle. And the fun part about this is this would give me a chance to experiment with different shots and see kind of what I can do without making my render times just horrendous. Horrendous. Lol. So, because moving camera is always going to make it more challenging. But I wonder, like, what about moving camera and moving in a moving ship, like an object it's moving, but it doesn't have a lot of moving parts. Because, like, a character is moving its arm, and, everything's referenced to each other. But if it's a static object, then maybe, I don't know, like, could I pan with a camera and track, like, a ship that's flying in outer space? So there's camera movement, and then, maybe a gun pops out, and the gun has some spinning part on it. Like, how hard would that be to render? And then, especially if the background is just transparent. So, I'll try something like that. I would think it would be easy, but we'd really have to see. Now, the problem is, how would I make that kind of work in, how would I make that work with the background? Because if I'm panning over an image, there's all kinds of like complex movements. Could I maybe make something in Blender and then just mess with it in OBS, and then just track it like that, and then I can just paste it in. So I could really really do something complicated and weird to render it like that. Because the movements of the assets need to track with the background that also appears to be moving. However, the stars do kind of the stars, they don't move as like in reality. Stars move really fast, but on TV they don't. Like theoretically, based on like what we're taught, you can move sideways, and the position of the star wouldn't change compared to you. But I don't think that's how it actually is. Like, I know one guy that he has a telescope, and when he looks in the sky, it's very hard to keep track of the stars because they're always moving. So there's that. Another thing that I could do is, what if along with the ships there's like, I make basically some stars that are basically the style of modeling them, it's like as if it's a Chinese lantern, to make a shape and put a light within it, and then it appears to be a luminous object, but actually it's it's an object with a light inside of it. I could do that and just have them move in reference to the ships. Both the ships and the item and the camera. The ships, the stars, and the camera are all moving, and the stars shouldn't add much complication to it. But then the background will just be one color, so I'll just render like one or two an image for every cut, and that's how I'll do it. That could work.